proactive digital healthcare in about 90 seconds, and thereafter we'll have the interactions from rest of the panel. That's it. The proactive digital healthcare, as the name indicates, it's proactive. How to give preventive care and proactive healthcare and make sure that one is never sick. Today, unfortunately, the healthcare means it is sick care. Once you get the sickness, you have the medication, then thereafter surgery or good luck, right? So now we are changing that narrative, especially like a country like India with 1.3 billion people. There are about 150 to 200 million sick people. But we want to keep the up health of the rest of the 1.1 billion people so that the industry is beneficial as well as the individuals are having a healthy life, what we call wellness-driven, nutrition-driven, and a high-quality life for better health. That's it. John will take the first question. As we get started, we want your words of wisdom and insight throughout the world. We got started with this disruptive care. First time I had the challenge, for example, how to put a business model in place, because there is no business model for 1.3 billion, because it is, a reactive care versus proactive care. So what is my pricing strategy? How do I bring wellness, nutrition, the yoga, especially the India, the good fortune is you have allopathy and homeopathy and the naturopathy, Ayurveda also as the integrated medicine, as IM is widely accepted in the US also. I would like to have the insights from you as to how it would be a good fit in terms of hybridization, etc. So your take, sir, please.
Great, thank you. First of all, it's
just you can take a small break.
Go, please. Yeah.
First of all, it's such a privilege to be here, and I have been learning so much about the opportunities here in India to improve the quality of health and at the same time reduce the cost of providing that care. And the good news is that the innovation that's going on here in India is profoundly advanced, and the opportunity for digital healthcare to improve access to care from the most rural parts of the country, improve the quality of care by having more information, and applying some of the modern tools of technology like artificial intelligence to help manage that information in ways that really lower the cost of care while improving the care at the same time. So this is a phenomenon that's going on across the globe, and every country I visit is very focused on applying new technology to old problems, and as Kamesh has just said, finding ways to improve health outcomes, finding ways to treat existing disease, finding ways to prevent disease in the first place, and doing it in a way that can lower the total cost. So much more benefit at much lower cost, and that's what we're seeing worldwide. And I think India has a particularly perfect situation for doing this, because there is so much innovation in technology here, and there are such vast distances in such a large country with a large population that we really can begin to help people who currently are too far away from healthcare resources to really benefit. So what we're looking at is some of the various technologies, and we're bringing in a set of solutions, not just a single solution, but a set of solutions that will help address different kinds of problems in different regions of the country, because just like any other country, there are different priorities in different parts of the country. So we're doing our homework now. We're on an extended trip here to understand what are the biggest needs in the different communities, starting with preventive health and wellness, and as Kamesh said, the integration of some of the really well-established practices of yoga, Ayurvedic medicine, and so forth, and how do they combine with traditional medicine, and how do we overlay that with digital healthcare in ways that really make a difference. So for example, we were traveling in a very rural part of the country over the past few days, and we asked them, what are your most common problems that we could really help you with? And they immediately pointed to skin problems they had and said that they would really like problems with some of their skin conditions. So what we can do today, and that this technology is available, is have people take a picture with their cell phone, upload it into the cloud that Kamesh manages, apply artificial intelligence to look at those images and give us the best possible diagnosis and recommend the best possible treatment. And this can all be done very, very inexpensively. In addition, the monitoring technology of putting a band on, can you show your band here, and monitor various factors that affect our health so that we can detect a problem earlier and that we can manage problems more effectively with more information, and do that without having to have the person travel long distances or having to send lots of people out along the countryside. We can do a whole lot of that, not everything, but we can do a whole lot of improving health and wellness using these digital technologies at very low cost. In addition, when we identify somebody who does need more extensive care, when they go to see a doctor, when they go to the hospital, they will have full access to all of their information that we've gathered through these digital technologies. And that will make their treatment much more efficient, much more effective, and at a lower cost. So this is perhaps one of the greatest opportunities in the history of healthcare to produce a win-win-win situation: better access, lower cost, and better outcomes through the use of digital technologies. So we're very excited about the combination of all the innovation here in India in the technology space, the opportunity to improve the health of millions of people, and to develop these technologies in ways that they can be used not just here in India, but globally in a platform kind of service where lots of different services are brought together. So that's why we're here. That's why we're very excited about the work that's being done here at this hospital and in Kamesh's company to bring all of these factors together and create that win-win-win situation to improve the health of everybody.
And by the way, I can add Vinn Hospital is part of that
Right.
segue. So I have one more Vinn who is already in the go-to-market enablement. So thanks for the wonderful insights. We'll go on to the next aspects. As I dwelled into the Indian markets, one positive takeaway of this entire IoT healthcare or the digital healthcare was the phenomenal acceptance that was there with the physicians, because they said, wow, this is the way to go. Why? It gives a strong interrelationship with the physician and the patient, because it's evidence-based care and intervention-based right at the time. However, that said, that's great news, but there are cost dimensions to it, and India has the volume of 1.3 billion. So how do we scale up to such things? And even then we're taking the Silicon Valley model, I can't retrofit here because India is such a diverse topography, there's no one size fit all for the scalability. Now you see, we will need scalability to penetrate, to give care to 1.3 billion. That's the first challenge. And then bring rest of the people around. In the sense, we have to bring the physicians who will be the touch point and giving the actual care for the people in this virtual plus the reality model. That said, we would like to have your insights. What would be the right strategy? For example, we are taking Dr. Tiwari as the CEO and doctor himself of the National Hospital Bhopal in Madhya Pradesh state, where they are collaborating with us apart from Vinn, different states, different collaborations. We are making as inclusive as possible. But we would like to get your insights, how we can have that local collaborations and get into to give best care, and on the other side, how do we scale? And the third challenge, because everyone says money, 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 how do I put that cost effectiveness into the DNA, which is all about what we are doing, how to serve the underserved market without even taxing them. So your insights or any words of wisdom greatly appreciated. Can you give your thoughts?
Yes.
Thank you.
And one of the problems with technology is all too often people will take a technology and then go look for a problem to solve and try and force a technology into a problem that might not be a good fit for that technology. So that's why we're here, is to understand what are the most important problems, what are the biggest opportunities to improve the health, whether it's of people who are in the intensive care unit of a hospital or whether it's people who are out in a rural area and it just needs some guidance about how to improve their health and wellness and prevent disease. So what we want to do is to be able to first seek to understand what are the key problems. And we've got some very good insights. Kamesh has been working on this for quite a while, and Andrew and I have been here speaking with hundreds of people to find out what are your priorities. And just like in any other country, whether it's the United States or China or the European Union, when you go to different parts of the country, you find that there are different priorities. So we want to make sure that this array of services, the components that we bring together can service the most important needs for each of the different communities. So we may apply 3 or 4 or 5 technologies in one region and yet apply 3 or 4 or 5, some overlapping, some different technologies in a different region based upon what the priority is. Eventually, the goal is to provide every service in every region and every part of the country, whether it's rural or in an intensive care unit in a hospital or in a surgical suite where surgery is being performed, that we can fill that out, but we want to start with the highest priority where we can get the most value for the patients in terms of creating health and wellness and treating their disease. So it isn't a one-size-fits-all. It's how do we very carefully first understand what problems are best to solve and what solutions match those problems. So it's this process of matching problem to solution that we're working on right now and that we'll be expanding on. As far as how to create the financial solutions for these kinds of situations, no one better in the planet than Andrew to speak to that issue. So I'm going to pass the baton to Andrew to talk about some of how the financial arrangements can work in a ways that create the cost component of the win-win-win of lower cost, better quality, and better access.
Thanks, Aaron. Well, honored to be here at Vinn Hospital in India. It's my first trip to India, so it's been fascinating and very, very, I thought I knew about innovation and technology in Silicon Valley, but I think India has got us by the tail there. I've been extremely impressed with all of the different innovative products and whatnot that have been shown to us over the last
Go ahead.
over the
Please.
last few years.